Previously on Starting Over, Rhonda was still not convinced Lou was making progress, even though he finally agreed to complete the group assignment of cleaning up an old car.
1 minute Lou is throwing a temper tantrum about cleaning the car, and the next minute he wants to clean the car all by himself. Well, Lou is a loose cannon, and I'm wondering if this really is the end of the problem.
Cheryl continued belittling her husband Troy and struggled to reach out.
Too much idle time, too much time to think and dwell. And
how do you think we might have been able to correct that idle time?
Hold on, hold that thought. What's under that? There's something under that. You're getting ready to whack it.
Meanwhile, after days of isolation, Simon finally began to open up about his emotions.
I want to punish you because I feel you're punishing me.
Tell her what you think she's punishing you for.
Because I'm not good enough. I'm not perfect.
And when everyone learned about the first board of review, the couples began to panic.
If you're here just for the ride, we'd rather you not be here.
I am personally scared that I'm going to be sent home.
One house.
I need a second chance.
Women from all walks of life. Striving. Bonding. Reinventing themselves.
This house changed my life.
Starting over. Life has never been this real.
I'm not sure what's going to happen at the board of review tonight. I am personally scared that I'm going to get called up there and they're going to give me a C and I'm going to be asked to be sent home.
Okay, so how do you need your needs met without spending extra money when you're not feeling good about yourself? I feel that I've come further than I ever have before in my life. Growing up, I wasn't taught to express my feelings, my emotions. I know that I'm gonna be called up for the board review. It's destroying me.
I'm just scared about that one because I don't know whenever I'm gonna have that feeling of I'm not feeling good that day and I wanna go spend that money because it happens to me so it happens often.
Okay, so I feel that this is something we're not resolving then.
No, I'm just saying, honey, I don't know, it just seems like you don't wanna, I don't know.
Well, this is something we're not solving then.
No, it's just we haven't come to a conclusion yet. We're gonna solve it.
Okay, so money, finances. A day of money, finances. Too often when couples struggle with money issues, they're really struggling with deeper, long-term emotional issues which need to be uncovered and peeled away to get to the real issue. Well, what worries you both about each other financially? What scares you?
I think the thing that scares me the most is just your drive and ambition when it comes to a career, what you want to do, and as far as sticking with something that's going to provide income.
That's one of my concerns too, is that I'm not going to find a job that is going to provide the kind of income that I want to have for myself. I wish I knew right now, right this very second, what I wanted to do.
Why do you have to wish at 23 to know exactly what you want to do?
Because my parents have put a lot of pressure on me to have a career right now.
Okay, so your parents, your boyfriend, and you sit there saying, I don't know. And the more pressure they give you, what happens to you?
The more I stray from actually finding what I want.
Well, doesn't it sound like in some way that what you're doing is still trying to define who you are, and you don't want other people to define who you are? And by them pushing you in a direction, they're making choices for you, and there's a resentment in that because you're making the transition right now from being really an adolescent to an adult. So what you need to say to him is that you expect me to solve this, and I may not be ready to solve this problem yet.
Michael, I feel like I am trying to figure out things and become my own person. And I really would like you to not put pressure on me and give me whatever time I need to figure those things out for my own and on my own.
that makes me feel scared because I know what I want in a wife is someone who makes a decision to being able to help support a family with some sort of career, some sort of job.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you. Did you hear Jacqueline say, I don't want to help support the family, I don't want to have a job, I don't want to have a career, I don't want to be a partner in this relationship?
I didn't.
Okay. Michael, you chose a woman who's 23 years old. How long have you been together for?
2.5 years.
Okay, who is 20 years old. It's okay not to have a career at 20.
I'd like you to please take off your shoes and put on a pair of black socks. Cheryl, I'd like you to get in the middle, please. Troy, I'd like you to get on the plastic, and why don't you go on right over here. And Troy, do you feel like you're walking in circles when you guys are arguing?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. You also told me that you feel that you're always walking on eggshells. Cheryl has two reactions. She either explodes or becomes ice cold. Well, now I understand why Troy feels like he's always walking on eggshells around her. Well, today, they're gonna walk on eggshells, literally. So I'm going to recreate for Miss Cheryl, and for you, Mr. Troy, exactly what it must feel every day to be you. Sometimes it feels like you're walking in circles, you can't get anywhere, and you're walking on eggshells because you never know what's gonna happen. So the eggshells represent your pain inside. What could happen if you don't watch what you say, watch what you do, walk on eggshells?
She just explode.
She could explode. As long as she contains herself, doesn't explode, and you don't see the pain, then you can pretend your marriage is happy?
I guess so.
I want him to see your pain, okay? Love is messy.
I haven't been honest with you.
Most 23-year-olds really don't know what they want to do with their lives and are exploring many options. Jacqueline feels so much pressure that she even has been lying to Michael about real estate school because she's really afraid that she won't live up to his expectations or to her parents' expectations.
Going to the school, I don't want to go. I don't want to do that. But I've been afraid to tell you and to tell my parents because I know you guys really want me to have a career and find that. And
I hope you forgive me because I must have done something wrong because I felt like I was supporting you because I felt that that's something you were being honest with me about, something you were hoping to accomplish, and I wanted to be there and support you, and I never meant for it to come across as any pressure. Like, I'll tell you, just like my dad told me, like, I don't care if you're a garbage man, be the best garbage man you can, and I'm gonna love you no matter what.
you were supporting me, but I just felt intimidated. Like I should have a career. Like this should be something that I want to do, but it's not.
You know, you operate with a lot of shoulds.
I know.
Have you noticed that?
Yes.
You have to become an independent, autonomous woman, separate from Michael. Mm-hmm. The more autonomous and independent you are, and this sounds kind of strange, but the better partner you're going to be. Do you believe that?
I do.
Okay.
I think that's what I'm realizing is that this is about me.
Right.
And it has to be about me before it can be about us.
Right. She's not going to find the confidence if you keep feeding her, and if her parents keep feeding her what to do, how to behave, what field to go into, because even if she does it, she's going to feel like she didn't do it. So it has to come from within. This is really important for you. Your relationship is doomed unless you can feel good about your choices and what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so scared right now. I don't even know what to do. I just want to leave.
I am afraid that I could be asked to leave tonight.
Bay Hotel Isla Navidad, offering a host of pleasures combining Pacific Coast splendor with the romance and heritage of Old Mexico.
Hi,
Hey Anla, this is Jacqueline. I'm just having a really hard day, and I don't even really know why I'm calling, but I just felt like I could and I should. And I was just hoping I could meet with you later. If I can't meet with you, if you could just give me a call. I'm not very confident in what the outcome might be between Michael and I. I feel like I'm confident in myself that I'm gonna, find out who I am, become my own person, and I'm a little scared that that person isn't gonna want Mike, or that Michael isn't gonna want this new person.
You've been good, though. You've been real good with Cheryl, trying to be. I have trouble connecting with Cheryl. I don't know.
Well, I'm trying to connect the most with her because I am having probably the most trouble. And it's only because of what she told me. I feel disapproved of by her. She thinks I remind her of her mom, and she probably does the same thing.
Screwed her up the most.
Yeah.
Tonight, we're having a board of review, and I'm definitely nervous. I'm still reeling from Lou's resistance to the exercise and feeling like everyone's judging me for codependency.
Sweet, out of everybody here, I think the most frustrated I've been just had to do with Cheryl. Just when we're down by the car, and just the way in those types of situations how she reacts, like chaotic kind of, and then just like asks you a question. Like, well, once you respond to her, she's like, no, but better not do it that way. And it's just like, well, why did you ask me then?
Do you guys ever talk about what's really happening? Why is your marriage sucking right now? Why? Tell them.
I don't think that you're accountable for the things you do. Let me give you an example. I just suspected a few months ago that you might be chatting again. So I asked you. I just right out asked you. And you just went off on me and said I was jealous. Truth was, you were chatting, and you pushed it back onto me.
When you did accuse me of chatting, I wasn't yet.
That's not true.
It is true. Yes, it is.
That's not true. At one point, I really felt a need to move. I wanted to go live near my family. I'm worried. My grandmother just died from Alzheimer's, and my mom is showing signs of it, and I don't have much time left. And you don't get it. You don't care. I do.
Is he selfish, Cheryl?
He's very selfish.
Tell him.
It's all about you. So I just stay busy so I don't get depressed.
She thinks you're a spoiled, rotten brat, that you get everything you want. Tell her. I'm in pain.
I'm in pain.
Admitting that I'm in pain is, well, that's brand new to me. That usually gets stuffed inside before that ever comes out.
I feel so weak that I can't even speak. I can't communicate.
What else can't you do?
I can't tell you how much I love you.
Why not?
I don't feel man enough at that time.
There you go. Tell them what happens to you when you go in your head, Cheryl. And you act like a tough B.I.T.
I'm hiding my feelings, too.
Okay, because why? You want him to be in charge, don't you? But who's really in charge?
Me?
Yes. What did you get out of today so far, Cheryl?
I need to warm up.
Yeah.
Not be so tough.
Thanks.
I think you need to find yourself.
Feels like we can't even work on us until I do.
That's okay.
It feels like you should leave me or something.
No, because I'm going to work on myself. For me to be with you, I need to be the best possible person I can. When you become who you are, when you figure out who you are, it don't matter if it's somebody I choose or I don't choose.
That's what scares me so much. I don't even like the thought.
But the person you are now is not really you. So it's got to be up to the person you become.
There's so much confusion in my head right now. I'm just going crazy inside. I can't make sense of all of these feelings that I'm feeling, and it's just really getting to me, and I'm just worried about the board of review. I'm feeling responsible for mine and Michael's problems. I'm just a mess right now.
I don't even know what to do. I just want to leave because it just feels like there's no purpose for you to be here and go through all this, too.
Yes, there is. We have a chance. We have a chance. By me becoming a better person, me figuring out who you are, we got a way better chance than what we've had.
I had no idea who's going to be called up for this board of review. No more nervous than any time I expose myself.
Welcome to the Board of Review. The Board of Review is a tradition in the Starting Over House. It's an opportunity for you to assess your own progress. It's an opportunity for you to get feedback from your environment and also to receive evaluative input from your life coach. At this Board of Review, you will receive a grade. The grades that you can receive are as follows. You can receive an A, which means that you have done well. You can receive a B. A B means while you have been here and you have done work, that there is still room, much room for improvement. Or you can receive a C. Because this Starting Over House is for couples, a C means that you will be asked to leave the Starting Over House. If your partner gets a C and is asked to leave, will you stay or will you go?
At the end of our time together, there'll be a recommitment ceremony, as well as a small reward, so to speak. And if you'd like to turn for the plasma, please, we're just going to check out this potential reward for good merit. Let's begin the board of review. Cheryl, up to the podium, please. With a week left in couples boot camp, what is it going to take to melt this ice, princess? Cheryl, your goal is to mend a war-torn marriage. Why are you here?
I'm here because I love my husband, and I want to learn to be vulnerable. I want to find the answers and the skills to be able to communicate with my husband, for him to be able to know me and not the facade that I put up.
So during your time here, what have you done well?
Learning to be vulnerable. And being vulnerable means a lot of things to me. Being vulnerable means just asking for help sometimes. That's probably one of the hardest things that I've had to do is ask for help.
What is one thing you're still working on, Cheryl?
I'm still working on relinquishing my control. I have a control issue with being perfect in many ways, for not giving up, for being right, and being in charge. And although I'm working on it, I don't think I've mastered it at all.
So then on a scale to A to C, how would you grade yourself?
Well, I'm floating between the B plus and A minus.
Tell me what A minus and B plus mean.
Well, A minus to me means that I'm putting in the work. I'm going into those areas that aren't safe for myself.
Such as?
Just crying isn't safe for me. Feeling other people's pain isn't safe for me. And I'm feeling other people's pain.
Where's your pain?
Stuff down deep inside.
Is it going to come out anytime soon?
Bubbling. That's why the B plus, because I feel the bubbling, which is more than I've ever felt. But I'm not letting it pour over yet.
Not letting it pour over. So that means it's conscious. What would happen if you let it pour over?
I have to feel it.
And what would happen if you felt it?
I'm afraid, I guess I'm afraid I won't be able to handle it.
And if you can't handle it, what'll happen? Fall apart. And if you fall apart, what'll happen?
My husband will probably help me and support
And if
me.
your husband doesn't help you, what'll happen?
I could lose myself in what I know. I might have to start over.
So you mean you haven't started over yet, Miss Cheryl?
I'm in the process.
So let me ask again. What grade are you going to be giving yourself, an A- or a B+?
A B.
A B. So Troy, what's one good change you've seen in Cheryl?
She can cry. It's in a good way. It comes from the right place. It's not because I made her mad.
Not only is it important to receive good changes and positive feedback, but everyone needs to know what they need to work on based on somebody else's view of them. So I'd like to start with Casey. Please share with Cheryl the one thing that you believe she needs to work on.
Opening up more. Sometimes I just don't feel that you're really saying how you feel at times.
I think you are still resisting a little bit to get close to Troy. I think just doubting yourself, sometimes second guessing what you feel.
That's the one. I see you beating yourself up, kind of just keeping on asking yourself the same questions instead of going with your guts.
Mr. Troy, what's the one change you'd like to see your wife work on?
That opening up. To not try to hold it back from me. I wouldn't see any hidden pain. I'd see a happy Cheryl.
Now I get that she's scared, but I'm very, very concerned about your unwillingness to really let it loose. See, until you're willing to literally rip your heart open and splat it right here for all of us to see, all the good, the bad, the ugly, you're not really willing to give your husband everything, which means you're not willing to give yourself you.
Fight for your life and your wife. Tell her what she needs to be doing.
You need to ask for help. From anyone. Me.
I can't give you that. I can't.
Are you more open or more closed right now than when we started the board of review?
More open. I feel a little defensive.
Yes, there you go. Thank you. Thank you.
For some truth, thank goodness.
Thank you.
I feel like no one sees what I'm doing.
There you go. There. Tell us then. Tell us.
I've been working so hard.
Tell us. Tell us how hard you've been working. Tell us. Tell us.
Well, I've been pulling up the pain from my past.
Okay, come on. Tell us.
Well, I've discovered that I didn't have a childhood.
There you go.
I've discovered that I was emotionally neglected. And I don't know how to give back. That I don't know how to give people love, presents, just normal things. I don't have the skills. It hurts.
So when you entered the starting over house, good job. You're doing great. You're doing great, Cheryl. Good work.
He was in the chat room. You were in another man's bed. How dare you point to him and say, do you know what he did? So what's going on? What is that? Tell me what that is. What is that, Cheryl?
I'm not strong.
Do you know how to feel?
Yes. I know how to love, I think.
Have you ever used Chad, your son, as a pawn?
I don't think I have used my son as a pawn.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that to my son. I don't want to do that. I know what that feels like.
Okay, wait a minute. When you left Troy, wasn't it that you went to live with another man?
But that had nothing to do with
And then another
Chad.
man?
That I wasn't using my son as a pawn.
And then now you still trust him in any way?
I was not using my son to manipulate Troy. I don't believe I did, Troy.
Do you want feedback?
I know what I did was bad for Chad.
Cheryl, do you
At
want
this moment,
feedback?
I do not want feedback at this moment. In a moment,
At this moment, you want to be in control and you want to
I just
be right.
want to speak my mind.
No, it's not about speaking your mind in this moment. In this moment, it's about getting the information you need to heal. Would you like some feedback
I'll take the
from your husband about whether or not you use your son as a pawn and whether or not you use your son as a tool against your husband? Would you like some feedback?
Sure.
Thank you. Mr. Troy, would you like to give Miss Cheryl some feedback?
You need to recognize when you're wrong over your pride. Because you did.
What did I do, Troy? Tell me what I did, because I'm
Excuse me, he's talking.
You didn't mean to, but it did happen. He's drug along whether he knows it or not by him being drugged around.
When I left, that was not,
it affects him. It makes him a pawn.
I understand that, Troy, but do you know what you did, why I left? You don't think that affected him either?
He was on the chat room on a computer and you were in another man's bed.
He blew up on me and he got arrested for it.
He was in a chat room on a computer. You were in another man's bed. How dare you point to him and say, do you know what he did?
Troy put me in a position.
Troy put you in a position.
He did.
He put you in a position.
He did.
And your choice in that position was what?
I needed to leave.
And you needed to go to another man's bed? You couldn't go somewhere else?
I had nowhere else to go.
You had nowhere else to go?
It's called a shelter, a hotel.
A friend?
How dare you put that on him?
He put it on me.
No.
Okay, this is over. I'm asking you to be honest, to throw your heart on the line on this table right here, and what you're doing is being defensive with your husband.
I thought I was supposed to stand up for myself. I don't understand.
You didn't stand up for yourself, you tore him down. And if you do it to your husband, I know you do it to your son. Because doing it to him is doing it to your son, Cheryl. He is your son's role model, not you.
I feel like I'm not being heard. I feel like I went through a really hard time.
I believe you.
And some really bad things happened to me. And I'm not being heard. And I did what I knew to do. I had no skills. And I understand it was wrong. I do. I do. I get it. I know it. I suffer for it. I feel guilty for it.
Just because you know it in your head does not mean you have it in your heart and yourselves. And that's what Iyanla and I are attempting to support you with right now. You are still in your head, Cheryl. And because you don't know is the only reason you are staying in the starting over house. Cheryl, I'm giving you a B-. I was working harder, Iyanla was working harder, and Troy was working harder for you than you were.
So what I want to offer you, Cheryl, is that you are now realizing your greatest fear. That through your intellectual endeavor, you didn't do it right. Welcome to the healing.
Cheryl, you may have a seat. This is good. Shall we move on?
Mr. Simon. Mr. Simon, you are here to find middle ground. That is your goal for your relationship. But why are you here?
I'm here to learn how to love myself, to respect myself, to learn how to communicate, and to have intimacy, and to have trust. And if I don't learn to do that, then I can't do that for Casey. I can't do that for Amira or anybody else. And it's been really hard. I'm trying to stop being a little boy emotionally.
So what would you say, Mr. Simon, that you still need to work on?
Letting it out.
It being?
My feelings, my emotions. I'm afraid to be vulnerable.
If you had to grade yourself today, Mr. Simon, on a scale of A to C, where would you grade yourself?
B.
B.
Jacqueline, what is one good change you've seen in Simon? One good change.
I've noticed that you've been opening up a lot more.
Mike, one good change you've seen in Simon?
I've seen him giving in to the process a little more as far as communicating.
This guy, he's opening up. It's on.
How have you seen it?
Asking me questions, being willing to hear the answers. Just opening up to me. I see him doing it more with everybody.
I'm sorry, you guys.
Breathe. I mean, let one out and suck one back in. Stop doing that. Oh, gosh.
We're not judging you.
We love you.
We're not judging
you. Dig
you.
that?
So, Simon, I was very concerned about you when you ended the starting over house. I don't think you were really ready to be here. But I figured that if you're here, in some way you're ready. And so I know that this entire process has been created to unfold your greatness, to help you to be safe enough to actually feel the things you've been afraid to feel. The one thing I'm really excited about is that you've been willing to go for it.
I read somewhere that the only way to know what a person is really made of is when they're willing to go for something they really want more than they're afraid of it. And I think you've been willing to go for what you want more than you're afraid of it. And what I want you to know, that I know, is that you still haven't told the whole truth. And the truth will set you free from the cultural chains, set you free from the family patterns that have put a noose around your neck. You don't have to tell the truth to anybody but yourself. Then should you decide you want help, you can tell it to somebody else. But until you tell the whole truth, Simon, you are going to be a prisoner of your own pain. Because until you can be okay with who you are, just the way you are, you're going to be a prisoner. I know how challenging this has been for you. Probably more than anybody else in this room. Because of who you are, because of your culture. I know how challenging this has been for you. So I want you to remember what Miss Casey said to you the other day. You matter. You absolutely matter, Simon. So I give you this grade, Mr. Simon, because of who you are. But more than that, I give you this grade because of who you are becoming. Because that's who we're waiting for. So, Miss Casey, would you please read this to Mr. Simon and let him know what his grade is?
An A.
Good for you. Well done, Mr. Simon.
Well done.
Well done.
I want to thank everybody in this room for helping me through this.
Thank you, Mr. Simon. You may have a seat.
Cheryl, that's what it looks like to lay it all on. Who's next to Yamla?
Miss Jacqueline.
They call my name at Board of Review. My heart starts beating because I'm just afraid of what's going to happen.
Your goal has been to love beneath the surface, but why are you here?
This Life Coach Tip of the Week is brought to you by NutraAir.
Without mutual respect, a relationship cannot flourish. In order to grow, partners must learn to honor and celebrate their differences. So don't try to change your partner. Instead, learn to accept them unconditionally. Because isn't that what love is?
I thought I was here to let go, but I'm learning that I'm here to be honest with myself.
About
how I've been punishing Michael, about how I've been dishonest with myself in ways that, for my whole life, today was the first day that I really felt like I was honest with myself, that I was vulnerable. And I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it right now.
Doing what?
I'm trying to say the right thing. But I know I just need to speak from my heart and not try to please any of you guys in here. Just do it for me.
So what are you doing well on your journey?
I honestly have not felt like I was doing well until today. Because I've been vulnerable and showing a side of me that I didn't think was very pretty. And opening up, and I felt like today I really did lay it on the table for the girls in the house. They were there when it happened.
Was this before or after you were notified that there was going to be a board review?
After.
When did you lay it on the table? So if there had not been notification of a board review, would you have remained closed,
I think
trying
so.
to please everybody?
I got scared this morning when Rhonda told us that there was going to be a board review.
So you went into overdrive?
I was scared, and I know Iyanla said this in the beginning, that we're not here to judge you, but automatically I felt like I was going to come up here and be judged, and not on my looks, but on what's inside. And I started freaking out.
Why?
Because I don't know what's in here.
Just like the car, huh? Full of ooky stuff.
Lies.
Toxins. But as long as it looks good on the outside. So what is the thing that you are not doing?
Being honest.
Focusing on who?
Myself.
What else do you need to work on?
Trusting myself. Being vulnerable. It's hard for me to do. It's hard.
Why are you here? Why did you come here?
To learn how to let go of the past.
But she hasn't done it for 7 days, Iyanla.
I'm listening to this stuff here. Why are you here? Never mind why are you here. Who are you? Who are you? Standing in front of me. Who are you?
I wish I had an answer, but I don't know.
Say that then.
I don't know who I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's an honest answer.
That's good. That's laying it on the line.
So let me offer you now that your greatest fear has come upon you. That the rest of the world would find out that you're a phony. And you've been scared to death that somebody was going to find that out. Well, ta-da. You've been found out. And that you've stood in it. On a scale of A to C, what grade would you give yourself today?
Today, I would give myself a B+.
Why so?
Because I feel like I made progress today. I feel like I really was vulnerable. I felt like I really opened up. I felt like I really started recognizing that I am a phony. And it's not what I really want. I want something deeper, and I'm tired of putting on a pretty face and thinking that's gonna get me somewhere.
Wow.
Jen, what's going on?
Just identify with Jacqueline a lot. I feel like a phony.
Did you want to tell her that?
I feel just like you. Like everyone's gonna find me out.
It's not just that they'll find you out, but when they find you out, they won't want you. Because if Michael really finds out who you are, he might not want you. And there's not enough left inside for you to stand on your own.
So the question is Jacqueline really ready for the starting over house? I mean, clearly she admits herself that she really hasn't been open, hasn't been available until a board of review is called. So she only did it when there was something at stake. Is she really going to get benefit unless we have a board of review every day? Or is it time for Jacqueline to go because she's received everything she can for now? Jen?
I think she should stay.
I definitely think she should stay.
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 If you're not ready, you should go.
Next on Starting Over, Jacqueline receives a terrifying wake-up call.
I don't think I've ever felt more alone in my life.
A shocking conclusion to the Board of Review leaves everyone speechless.
Michelle, should Mr. Lou stay or should he go?
Tell the truth.
I'm not sure you're ready.
And Cheryl opens up about her dark side, and it could have serious consequences.
Forgive me. I don't forgive you right now. No.